Yeah, so here we're back again at video number 5, and what I did is that, as I told you before, I zigzagged. I'm hoping you can see that there. I zigzagged the edge around and then I trimmed it, right? So now if you notice, it comes like one piece of fabric. Okay, I still have this edge here to zigzag right around, and I'm going to do it in a minute. I shouldn't have taken out the pins from this one since I didn't do it yet. But I also want to show you how I trim the edge. So this one is one before it was trimmed. Okay, so you notice I have the little zigzag stitch, a very small zigzag stitch holding the fabric together there. And now I have something called a pink and shells, right? If you notice, it's not a plain blade, it has a jagged edge, and it would cut the fabric with a little zigzag effect. So I am cutting this now just up against where I stitch without cutting the stitches. Okay, you don't want to cut the stitches, so you're going nearby, but you don't want to cut the stitches. So now I have it cut very near the stitches, but not right up against the stitch to cut the stitch. Okay, so now I have this nice neat finish here, and the top edge is also stitched so that when I go to stitch it onto the garment, it will stay in place, right? Both of them would stay in place. So I'm going to show you one of them how I did the zigzag, right? So we don't waste too much time. So I'm going to show you it on the machine now. And remember that this is going around in a circular motion. So, I have to go back a little bit, right? So, I put it under the machine, and where I have it marked, I'm following that mark now, and I'm stitching a very narrow zigzag stitch around it. And as I go around the corner, I have to twist my arms. Alright, I twist it a bit so it follows the line. Okay, so you see I have to keep pulling the fabric back this way slightly so that it would follow the curve of the line. Okay. So now I have all my pieces in place, and all I need to do now is to join them. So I'll be taking, again, right sides together. This is the right side, this is the wrong side. So I'm going to put right sides together, right? Right side onto right side here. Right sides together at the shoulder seam. Make sure the edges match now, because remember, we finished those edges already. And pin in place. Okay, same thing, right sides together. I put them together there, match my notches, and stitch and pin in place. Okay, now I'm going to stitch it just like how I stitched the shoulder seam. I'm going to stitch these. And I need back my straight stitch. Back stitch a bit. I think look up with my machine. Hold a second. Okay, I had it on the wrong stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to stitch this straight across here. Alright, give it a little back stitch. And cut my thread. So now I have one shoulder seam join together, right? And if you notice now, I have one nice continuous edge. See that? It's joined together on the shoulder seam. We have to join the other one. So this will fit onto the neckline. This will fit onto the neckline of the garment itself. Okay, so we have the two ends joined, nice and neat. Okay, and what we will do is press these open again. Okay, so these will have to be pressed open. Your seams are always pressed open. Now at certain points in time, because of the type of fabric, you can actually do something called finger pressing, which is just doing it like this, and if you notice, it's flattened. Okay, so if I don't want to go to the machine at that point in time, I can do a finger press. Okay, so long as it is flattening out properly, you can do it for this small area. You can do a finger press for this small area. So now we have whole neckline again, right, made up in our facing. So we're going to take that and apply it to the garment itself. So let me move the machine from our way, move all my pins, move my garbage, so that I have a clean area. You always have a nice clean area to work with. Let's see if I can turn this down a bit more. So I am again turning my garment to the right side. Okay. Oops. That's as far as my machine could go right now. So I turn my garment to the right side. Okay, right. So you can see what's going on here now. And I'm taking the facing again, right sides together. So this is the right side of my face and this is the wrong side. So the wrong side will be up facing me, the right side will be together with the garment. And I'm applying this facing onto the garment. Okay, matching my notches. I'm hoping, let me take the camera down for a minute so you can see exactly what's going on. See that? I'm hoping you are seeing. So I am matching my notches. Everything is in place and I'm going to pin it in place there now. Okay? Right, so hopefully you saw that. Make sure that these lines of stitches match each other properly at the shoulder seams. So you want to lift the line and take a look and see if both of them are exactly together. When you have them exactly together, take a pin, stick it in. Do the same thing with the other side. Make sure your seams, this seam and this seam here, matches properly. Right, they're going to be checking that, so you have to make sure that those seams match properly, so that when you stitch it, the seams will show like a cross. Okay, now you can go ahead and pin the rest of the facing into the garment. And when you're pinning something into the garment, what you do is stick the pin into the garment first. Stick it in like this, make sure it goes through, and then just rest your finger just in front of the pin and push up the garment a bit. And you'll be able to push the pin right through without lifting the fabric too much. So I'm pinning it right around because we want to make sure that it doesn't move when we are sewing it. You don't get an untidy finish. So here we are. Look at that. And this is how it would look. It would be on the right side of the garment. Okay? This is how it would look on the right side of the garment. It would not be on the wrong side. It would be on the right side, because when we take it and we turn it over here, you see, you will have your right sides together and it will finish your garment properly. So first of all, it will be on the right side, just like this, and we're going to be stitching this now. Okay, so we're going to be stitching this all the way around. So next video we'll be finished stitching and we'll come back to show you what's next.